it's hot, but we're just kind of chilling out here because we gotta, you know, do like 30 seconds to 60 seconds of an intro so that it's showing that. You know, last week's episode was pretty fun. I mean, I enjoyed having Pandora and Matt.
Yep, absolutely.
That was really fun, and I learned something neat.
Well, there was a lot of information that I had no clue on. So
oh, dude, when it comes to women's dresses, I just know how to take them off.
I mean, just dress in general.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of. That's why I was quiet a lot because
well,
I was learning. I had nothing to add, but I mean, the information was fantastic.
Oh, dude, it was very concerning because usually you're a little jabberbox.
Absolutely.
Like, I look over and the look on your face is just like a glazed over, like, I have no idea what's going on.
No, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, it was a great interaction. It was a pleasant surprise having Pandora join us.
Yes, for sure.
And that was just amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't throw her up on video because, dude, this is like last minute, man.
Yeah.
You can't put a lady in front of a camera at the last minute and expect her to be like, blah.
Yeah. No. She was a sport. So definitely a big thank you to her.
What really cracked me up, though, is that Matt comes walking to the studio with like a stack of books, like we're back in high school. And I'm like, nerd.
Well, oh yeah, totally.
He's like, I had to do all the research. I'm like, why didn't you just tell me, hey, Rob, can we just get Pandora to join us? I would have been like, yeah, dude, let's do it.
Yeah.
Especially when you have, the certifications that she has.
Oh yeah.
With
No, see, and that was
and Tudor. I had no idea.
No, neither did I.
You know,
neither did I. I knew her costumes were always very well put together.
Yes.
I didn't know she made them. You know.
I didn't either.
And then what, you know, like you were saying, I didn't realize that she had actually went to college for this kind of thing.
Which
so
I didn't even think that was a thing. But
that lends a lot of credence, you know, to what she was saying and why she could speak very poignant about it.
Oh, yeah. No, I totally get it, dude. Like, it was a nice, pleasant surprise to have somebody on that knew way more.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, guys.
Well, I'm pretty sure
we
that
kind of do our research.
Yeah,
kind of.
I mean, you know,
on topics that we're talking about.
Sure.
But when it comes to like your garb, your wardrobe, I'm not the dude to ask. I'm a traveling merchant from the East that dresses completely different.
No, yeah, well, yeah, but that's, you know, once again, that's why we have guests on.
Yes.
You know, that are, you know, what I would call experts in their field.
Absolutely right.
You know, I mean, that have way more knowledge than we do. That, you know, I mean, we know what we're talking about, but it's always good to have that third person, or, you know, in this case, fourth person.
Right.
You know, to really speak about what it is that, you know, where we fall short.
At one point in time, we're going to have to get Matt back here to talk about weapons, because I mean, that's his wheelhouse.
Yes. Yeah, we kind of touched on it, but yeah. I would like to do a whole episode. Of weapons.
I mean, I think and I've been thinking about this since last week. It blows me away that so many people that attend the festivals have to have a weapon.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it lends to the idea of high fantasy, like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
You know, like The Hobbit and stuff like that. Everybody carries a sword everywhere that they go.
Yeah, and that was the cool thing, you know, when he was talking about, you know, most people don't. They wouldn't even have a weapon. Which
makes it even smarter because the Baron's not going to be carrying a weapon from this point other than a dagger.
Yeah, which is exactly what I'm doing this upcoming years.
Right.
You know, trying to scale down.
You scaled down during like mid-season of last season.
Yes.
Which made a lot of sense because, I mean, you had, you know, the merchant of Cathay with you whose livelihood really revolves around your survival.
Keeping me alive.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing to have.
Right. Which I think it's hilarious because, you know, last season it was me, you, and then our friend Jason, who was walking with us, who plays the mercenary of Venice.
Yes.
He's Venetian.
Venetian.
Which, by the way, just a quick shout out to him. I'll toss links down below. the Mercenary of Venice. I can't remember Giovanni Salzano.
Yes.
He's in a few books.
Yes, it's called the Traveling Mercenary.
The Traveling Mercenary, and our friend writes these books, and they're actually really well done. I do like the way that he has crafted that character, and it's neat to see how you have a friend that is an actor.
Yes.
That writes their character or takes on the personage of something that they've written about. It's really cool to watch.
Oh yeah. It's a historical fiction, so
right.
He does a lot of research. He puts a lot of detail into the books. Like very well done.
But check it out. You can order them on. I think he's got them on Amazon.
He's got them on Amazon. There's another platform.
You can order them. You can order them from him directly. We'll send that down below.
Yeah, we'll get the links. We'll put them in there.
He does have a Facebook page for it, so you guys can check that out. But our friend Jason is the guy that was walking around with us. So it was this really weird like wedge formation going through the laneways, and it was great because we did this in order of peerage or hierarchy, if you will, which is what today's episode is all about.
So there is a hierarchy. Once you get into this, you'll realize when certain people walk together, there's a way that they walk. There's not every person is equal,
right?
In a sense.
And we'll even talk about like sometimes when you have two people of equal rank walking along, which person should stand to the left or the right.
Correct.
So we're going to talk about those things. Let's get this episode kicked off.
Let's do it.
I'm excited. Thanks for joining us, guys. Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
We are the Renaissance Rascals. I'm Rob.
I'm Keith.
And we are just excited because episode 4.
It is episode 4.
It is episode 4 already. Our previous episodes, if you've missed them, go back, check them out. They're in the library there. The first one, we were just kind of goofing. Sorry about the audio. The first 8 to 10 minutes of the audio is garbage. Sorry.
I completely blame Rob.
I totally blame the gremlins that live under the desk. And I also blame a lack of Scotch eggs.
Yes.
Which, by the way, last episode, we talked about the creation.
Yes.
Pandora of the Scotch egg. And it's canon now. I don't care what you say.
It is.
We're going to talk about that because part of that backstory that we created is going to come into play. So today we are talking about hierarchy and your part, your place. You got to know your role in the Renaissance Festival.
You do. The time frame that just because this is our home festival, the Colorado Renaissance Festival is based is around the 1500s, 1550 Tudor time frame.
Right.
And your station is important. That's everything. So you have to know where you fit in, and we'll kind of dive into a little bit more in another episode of how to be a patron.
Yes.
But this is kind of the foundation that you can kind of see where you fit in and then base your character off that. Because I think a lot of people have a misconception of where they fit in the Shire.
I think they just don't know.
It's true.
I think, honestly, most people... I know that, when I started working last season, I had no idea where I fell in.
Right.
If you look at the... I can't share it with you guys because there's private information on there. If you looked at the flow chart that had where everybody stood...
Yes.
I was, on the bottom.
You are the bottom.
No, sir. We're going to talk about why Yen Shang is not at the bottom. I'm actually more to the middle of the hierarchy within the class, within the definitions of peerage. So we're going to talk about that.
Absolutely.
We're going to do more. But before we go there, let's talk about kingdom sizes.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of things that make up a kingdom.
Correct.
Okay? A kingdom, while at home we like to say a man's house is his kingdom. which I guess you could break it down, because then your kids' rooms are like your little towns and villages. It looks like there's 1,000 people living in there.
Sometimes.
So when you look at this, we look at population centers within the kingdom, and we're going to start small. We're going to go large, and somewhere in there, your festival has a number. And don't go based off of like, oh, well, there's only like 20 cast members, so it is this. Go based off of who is the, how to say this, the lord or the patron of the festival, who's holding the festival, because that's going to make a huge difference. And the reason why I bring all of this up is because it's very important for you to know when you're trying to figure out, like, where do I fall in? Because if you're a baron,
correct,
and you come to Larkspur Shire, because this is our home festival, you come to Larkspur Shire. Well, you don't live there. You're the Baron of Umbricinia.
Correct.
Okay, so that right there determines like where your place is as far as Larkspur Shire is concerned.
Yes.
It also helps that you're kind of the bottom rung of nobility.
Yes.
We're going to talk more about that, but a village size anywhere from 20 people to 1,000. So when you think of like Larkspur Shire, if we were to include all of what in the industry they call boothies, if you included all of those folks within the population of the village, I would say that we are more leaning towards probably about 300 strong.
Probably.
And I'm also including the knights and whatnot that travel.
Right.
Then from there you go to a town where you've got 1,000 to 8,000 folks living there. Like, I'm sure that there was an old timey census bureau that rolled around. I don't know.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, taxes were a big thing.
That is true.
So
actually, it would have been the clergy that was doing that.
Correct. So whoever is in charge of collecting that money from the town is going to know how many people are there.
That's correct.
So yeah, there was definitely some sort of, like you said, some sort of census taker or people who are meant to keep track of that.
And I joke, but there is truth, because remember, during the Renaissance period, church and the clergy was a huge part of your life.
Yes.
At least for the West.
Yes.
So that would be the easiest way to keep track. Oh, cool. We had 45, last year inside the church. Now we've got 60. Cool. We've got 60 people in our village now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, and then you have to remember that was the right in the time frame where they split from Catholicism to Protestantism. So now you've got two churches that are there's a lot going on at this time.
We're not going to go too far into religion because a lot of people have a tendency of shying away.
It's really interesting. I urge you to
do the
read up and do some research on it, because it was a very pivotal time back then. But
my favorite that is kind of my favorite type of clergy person that I've seen patrons dress up as Crusaders, Templars.
Templar Knights.
I think that's the coolest thing in the world.
Absolutely.
But I've got a personal love for Templars and their whole history. I think it's very interesting. Anyway, moving on. City size, 8,000 to 12,000 people. We're not talking London yet.
No.
London would have been a big city. Small city like this, we're talking like Dublin.
Correct.
Like Dublin, Ireland. Prior to all of the fun stuff happening. If we were to go like villages and whatnot, I'm really hard pressed to come up with smaller villages that are like less than 1,000, because they're like little specks on the map.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about village, you're thinking about maybe like the farming communities that are out in the country that have maybe a couple hundred people. It's cattle, it's sheep, lamb, things that are of that nature. Maybe fruit wasn't even really a big thing. Right. But any sort of commerce, farming, agriculture, like that.
Which it's very important for you guys to pay attention to that, because that could mean that either a lower noble owns that village or is the patron of the village, or it's a merchant, because merchants owned farmland during that time frame.
Yes.
So and again, 20 people is a village. So
there's a village, a town, a city. There's always going to be a noble attached to
correct
that in some way.
Correct.
Whether they're there or those people are answering to him.
Right.
I mean, or it's there's going to be someone noble attached to that. It's not like Monty Python, where they're an autonomous collective.
Yeah. No. Usually your autonomous collectives were like traveling shows.
Yes.
Your traveling shows, like the acting troupes and whatnot, that would go in and do a pop-up performance and then leave.
Yes.
And go to the next place. So that was your autonomous collectives.
Right.
And even then, it generally was not so autonomous, because there was always the casting director, judging dad face thing.
Correct.
I'm going to get fired.
Whom we love with all our heart.
Yes. Please invite us back next year.
We love you.
We love you very much.
It was all Rob. I had nothing to do with that.
Dude, I gotta take the heat off of you, because last episode you were just going nuts.
Yeah.
Or was it? No, it was episode 2. It was episode 2.
Was it the second one?
It was the second one.
Yeah.
You were just... I don't know what got into you.
I don't know.
Lack of Scotch eggs.
Unemployment, maybe.
So, and the last one is like your big cities, and this is where you're talking huge city centers that are like seaports, basically.
Yes.
London is one. You could look at on the east. We could even talk. What is that? Singapore.
Yes.
Singapore would have been a huge city on the east. So. Those are the population centers. I like to try to figure out, once you have your name and everything, when you're like, okay, how do I fit inside of this village? Which I struggled with. I struggled with that, because I'm like, well, I'm a Chinese traveling merchant who is here to trade in spices, silks, and salt. Why the hell am I in Larkspurshire?
Because I'm in Larkspurshire.
Well, and thankfully you did step in to save me on that, because I was like struggling. I'm like, where on the map, like where on the continent of England is Larkspurshire? And everybody's like, dude, you do realize this is like a fake village, right? I'm like, yeah, but like I'm writing something and I need to be able to, like, how did I get here?
You need some sort of geographical
is this
landmark.
A port town?
Yeah, clearly no.
I mean, we do have a pirate ship up at the top of the hill.
Yeah, not sure how it got there. But...
whips, large whips. Massive whips.
It was the aliens. Hey, there's no pictures back then. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But we also talk about like the unskilled workers.
Yes.
So that's the massive whips.
Yeah.
Being used upon them. So now we got to talk about like who you had said nobles are attached to these things.
Absolutely. So
let's take a look at what that means, and what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, first off, you got to start with the royals.
Yes.
Because we talk kingdoms.
Yes.
And kingdoms typically belong to... Audience, you're supposed to say kings.
Kings.
Okay, there we go. In the West, you've got your kings, your queens, and in the East, we have emperors. Now, if you go a little bit further back in European history, there's emperors there as well. But in the East, it was in China, the Middle Kingdom, it was the emperor and the empire. Which consequently, and I don't know. While I was doing research for this episode, I don't know how this actually works or if it's accurate. But I found a diagram that showed that an emperor is actually higher than a king. Gonna talk to Professor Loquacious about that one.
Yes. The professor, I think, would be better. I would almost say that they would be on an even playing field. Kind of a level station, but maybe?
I don't know, because it's depending upon like the lore and everything. Anyway, let's not get too wrapped up in that.
If you guys have your own theory about who would be higher than king, a king or an emperor who would be higher, leave it down below in the comments. Love to read what you guys have to say.
Emperor.
King.
So we've got our nobles, we've got our royals. Then underneath that you've got your noble class. So this is where we're more talking like the people that are attached to the lands.
Correct.
By patents of writ from the king.
Yes.
So then underneath that you got merchants.
So merchants, the reason they're kind of in the middle there is because they still have something to offer. So they're generally a little more well off. They have some money. They probably have some land. They
definitely have the goods.
They have goods. So they're I guess the way you would look at it is they're the upper middle class.
Sure.
So
I can go with that.
Yeah.
But the way that when I was doing my research, the way that I found this easier to kind of digest, because there's a very weird gray line, like from our understanding of modern sociology, socioeconomics and whatnot, to Renaissance. What's the difference between a noble and a rich merchant? Well, nobles derived their fortune from land.
Correct.
Merchants derive their fortune through goods. So they may have gold, which, remember, during the Renaissance time period, this is when the merchant class was really affecting the political landscape of Europe.
Yes.
And England. So, I mean, you have the Medicis who were in Italy that literally were causing this schism between the nobility, because the nobles were borrowing monies from the Medici family.
Right.
Which makes it hilarious because, hey, I'm a merchant. Now I know why I'm traveling with the Baron.
Yeah.
That dude owes me money.
Probably.
But, and I'm not saying that this isn't the way that most Renaissance festivals do it, because there's a lot of nuance that's inside of that political schism that happens.
Yeah.
And it's really hard as an acting troupe to pull that off and have that story be told throughout a season, because you have some diehard patrons that will show up every day of festival.
Yeah.
And dude, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You make my day even better, because I like walking up and going, "Hello, friend."
Hello.
But your most common people are coming for a day.
A day.
And normally we don't see them. Like we have a 50-50 chance of running into somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm being generous with my percentage there.
Oh, very, 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 very much. I mean, we try to get around the festival as much as we can.
Yeah.
But it's just there's so many people. What do you what do you do?
I mean, I think at one point in time they had 30,000 people come through the gate over a weekend.
Oh yeah, just that was a day.
Oh.
We're gonna try to get some numbers, attendance numbers. So
yes.
We'll that way we can kind of throw
people
out accurate numbers.
Yeah.
But I mean, to say 50,000 on a Saturday, I don't think is out of the realm of where we were at.
It's mind-boggling to me, because my brain can literally only encapsulate or comprehend like 1,000 people in one space.
Right.
And only reason why that is because of my time in the military. I cannot fathom 50,000 people trudging up and down those hills.
They start out walking.
Yeah.
And by the end of the day, they are
trudge.
right along with us.
They trudge.
And they're trudging. That's why we start our day trudging.
Yes.
And we end our day trudging.
Yes, it's one solid
yeah.
piece. So then underneath the merchant class, you've got your trade workers. So these are your smiths, your Fletchers, your haberdashers, and whatnot.
Yes.
The people that actually make the goods. Because remember, the nobility looks down on everybody underneath them. So they look down on the merchant class. They despise the unskilled workers, the peasants, if you will.
Oh, absolutely.
I would almost wager to say that your merchants, your trade workers, are considered commoners.
Yes. They will be your middle to lower, middle class to upper lower class.
Yeah. and then your unskilled workers are like your peasantry. Like,
yes.
These are the folks that were not picked up to, or were not selected to do a trade.
Correct.
To be an apprentice.
Correct.
Or maybe they just became destitute by some, unfortunate event. A kingdom was overthrown, and now their shop was burned, and they didn't have anything. And it's not saying that they're always going to be considered unskilled. Within those lower three, it is quite possible that somebody could work their way up and down. Typically, you could not become a noble unless you were A, born into it,
right,
B, married into it.
Yes.
And that was where the merchant class kept on trying to marry into the nobility.
Absolutely. And it happened a lot.
Yes.
Because when we were talking about, the merchants have the goods, they are the ones making the money. So sometimes it would really behoove someone to marry into that, because that just expands territory and expands money.
Now, I tried to do some research on trying to find like a tier list for the merchant class, but it was a pain.
Yeah.
But I bring up tier lists because everybody always goes, well, royalty, and nobles, and your newer cast members will always refer to people as my lord.
Correct.
My lady. Which may not be accurate depending on who you're talking to.
True.
And in some cases, back in the Renaissance, this could cost you your head.
It most likely would if you misaddress someone.
Oh yeah.
They were like I said in the beginning, station was everything.
Yes.
And so you would never have anyone who is below you disrespect you.
I think
that would not be allowed.
No, and I think the Lord Sheriff said something during the opening gate show last year.
Yes,
that really hit home with me. Everyone has their place.
Yeah,
and what was it?
I know the line. I can't remember the exact line.
It was so beautiful. It was like everyone has their place, and placement was everything.
Yeah,
or something along those lines. It was beautiful. I'll ask him later on, and we'll use that later on.
Absolutely, we'll put that in the comment.
But obviously, as a patron, if you come to play with us and you want to say, well, I'm the king.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. No, you're not.
Good luck. I did see an emperor walking around. Actually, I saw two emperors walking around last season.
Right.
First, I saw a traveling. I'm not sure if he was quite an emperor. He may have been an ambassador of some sort from Korea.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
You saw that guy?
Yes.
Yeah. And then
now that you say that.
And then I saw Cusco. I literally saw somebody dressed as Emperor Cusco from Emperor's New Groove.
Okay.
Hilarious.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I think you had gone off to go eat to break the fast with the knights and Saint Ingrid.
Oh yes.
I ran across this dude and I was like, have you seen a big gentleman, red and black, has a tendency of singing his own theme music? And the guy played right into it, and he goes, how sad.
Sometimes you have to, sing your own theme music.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you can't afford anybody else because you're a lesser noble.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
I am at the bottom of the noble list.
You absolutely are. I'm looking at the chart right now. And
funny thing about that. Is I actually, and we'll go over this in a different episode, but I put myself there for a reason. So
Well, yeah, because you wanted to be able to hang out with me.
keep that little nugget in your head.
You wanted to hang out with me. That's all it was.
At that point,
I didn't even
know you.
Hey, look, let me just have this, all right?
Okay, yes, I did that so I could hang out with you.
Yes.
We'll go with that. That sounds much better.
So at the top of it, we got a king or queen.
Yes.
And then below them, we have our prince and princesses. Now, obviously, at our festival, we have King Henry.
Yes.
Not, and because we're historically adjacent, we don't have Henry VIII. He has no other designation. He's just King Henry.
King Henry.
And then we have Queen Anne.
Queen Anne.
And that's not specifically Anne Boleyn or anybody. It's just Queen Anne.
Just Anne.
Okay. And then our princes and princesses. Actually, we only have one prince. Yeah, we only have one prince. It's at the top of the screen.
Yes. No, I could have swore we had another one, but yes, no, you're right. We only have one.
And now I think we only have one princess now.
Yes, one of our princesses left us.
She went abroad.
Yes.
She's
yes.
Yes,
no, she didn't
studying
like
abroad.
Yes, no, she's still alive.
She's studying abroad.
Princess Mary, we love you.
And
I didn't mean.
Unfortunately, you can't find Princess Mary at CRF, but TRF you can meet her down there.
Yes.
So that's her new home festival.
Yes.
So you guys can go check her out down there. Our other one, and this is, I swoon when I say this name.
Oh Lord.
Yes. My lovely Princess of Ireland, Erin O'Grady.
Yes.
The love of my heart.
Oh God, this show's taking a turn.
Oh, dude, shut up. You love it because it's fun. No, our Princess of Ireland is one of my mentors, and
she's absolutely fantastic.
She's amazing. She's one of the people that actually is responsible for me being on cast.
And that is one of the people I blame.
Yes, and that's she accepts that. She accepts
absolutely
that
as well as she should.
And then we move from there because that's the only royalty that we have.
Yes.
So a lot of folks have a tendency of getting nobility and royalty blurred together.
Yes, and so then when you're talking about kings and queens,
yes,
or the king and the queen,
yes,
it just at this festival, so that would be Your Majesty. So
right.
when you address them, obviously,
make sure you bow.
Yes, you must bow. So everyone, so the bowing, or as they call it, deference, is you always bow and show that deference to everyone who's above you. So obviously, king and queen are at the top; they bow to no one,
except for Amber.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that happened. And then prince and princesses would be Your Highness.
Right. Which in public, let's say specifically, if the prince or princess was the child of the reigning king or queen at the time, in public they would bow.
Yes.
In private they may not, but there's a lot of weird information in there.
It's very nuanced,
right?
Because appearances are everything.
Absolutely right.
So yes, if they were even children would bow to the parents.
Right. So that makes up our royalty. Okay? And then we move into the nobility. And ooh. And so then we've got you can see it on the screen here, and for those that are just kind of listening there and not looking at the video, our next line would be our Duke and our Duchess.
Yes.
Okay? And typically, the Duke and Duchess is kind of like your step down. They're going to look down on, and you're going to find this theme quite a bit. I'm going to say this a lot because historically, all of these people would look down on the people below them.
Yes.
Save for the king and the queen.
Correct.
Typically, the king, well, I appointed you to that position.
Yes.
You're there because somebody, my great-grandfather, blah, 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 puts you in that position.
Yep.
I may be annoyed with you, but I'm not looking down on you, so to speak. Whereas a duke would look down on a marquess like, you're scum.
Yeah.
Which, historically, marquess was a created, or a title that was created to raise someone up. The Earl of Dublin.
Right.
Over the other earls. So it really cracks me up when you look at like the nuance of the political reasoning behind peerage.
Oh, absolutely.
Now as a matter of fact, I'm slacking, man. You forgot to tell me to push the button. So here's our royal court. There's our king.
There's King Henry.
King Henry. All hail the king.
Love him.
And he's getting ready to execute one of the commoners. There's our queen, Queen Anne.
Love her.
Long live the queen.
So
that's a really good picture of her.
Right.
Oh, and so
pause here.
Yes.
So just as a backstory, this is actually a video that I made last year, because I was getting a lot of questions. Not a lot of people knew who everyone was. So I put this video together, broke it down by hierarchy, where everyone fits in.
Yes.
So we start off with the court. Now we get to this slide here, and you're like, well, that's the jester. So why would the jester be under the nobles?
Because he's always attached.
He is always attached to the king. So he's actually part of the court, which a lot of people, because who's king going to listen to? He's going to listen to the jester, because the jester actually fits in with the commoners as well. So he gets all the gossip.
Some intrigue there. So he's like a spy.
Well, I wouldn't say a spy, but he's a great source of information. Tell me what's going on with the commoners. You walk around and you entertain them all day. You must have heard something.
Right.
Oh, actually,
the eyes and
Your
ears,
Majesty, I did hear that. And the king, okay, so he's going to listen to what he says.
I don't know if I would listen to that guy.
I mean, this guy?
Yeah,
no.
I love him. I love him to death. But the character, absolutely not.
Yeah. Fantastic dancer.
Which, I'm glad you bring that up. If you're bored and you want to look something up, go over to TikTok and you can look up Colorado Renaissance Festival living statue dances with jester.
Oh, yeah,
that is, dude. I watched that in person. It was so beautiful.
It's yeah.
All right, so moving on in the video, we got our buddy Chester. Look, there he is again. I know that guy.
I know him.
And then, okay, so we're gonna pause it here. On the right-hand side here, we've got our friend who plays Jehan Lenore.
Yes.
Who is actually the king's squire. So, why is that person attached to the king? Because they're basically the king's attendant, the squire learning from the king. Now, backstory to this: this character is French.
Yes. So not noble, not royalty, but they are attached to the king. So you would still show them as much respect because their station, once again, is higher than they're at the top of the food chain, right underneath the king and queen.
So fun little thing that I found. But typically, when a king takes or somebody from the royalty takes a squire, it is from noble families.
Oh yes,
they're not reaching out to the commoners.
Oh,
sorry, Knight's Tale, that ain't happening.
Yeah, as fun as that would be.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, and that story is awesome in itself, but it's a very old story.
Oh yeah, it's a fantasy story.
Well, no, it's based in history though.
Yeah,
I'll remember who the name is later on, but there is a story that is a tale of a commoner who became a noble.
Yes.
Through combat.
And there's also stories of nobles, or a noble who became a pirate.
That is true.
So.
That is true.
Here we go, weaving tales.
All the. So he stepped down.
Oh, absolutely,
he
stepped
down from.
Yes.
So that is. Let's see. Is there more? Because there's.
Yep.
There's our friend Jahan. I hope I'm saying that right.
Jahan. I hope so.
I mean, French. Okay, and so now we go into our princes and princesses. This is our buddy.
Yes.
This is our buddy. You guys might not recognize him. He didn't have his mustache last week.
He looks more normal like this.
Yes,
I
yes,
can't.
he does.
I just can't.
I look at him now, and he reminds me of who's that dude that was on The Crow, the bad guy.
Oh, yeah,
Michael Wincott.
Michael Wincott.
That's who he reminds me of now.
All right, yeah, I can see that.
If he could do that gravelly voice, then you could say that he was Rochefort from Three Musketeers.
Yes.
Which that's still one of my favorite movies. So then we've got, let's see, moving on here. This is our lovely Princess Mary.
There's Princess Mary, who unfortunately will not be with us this year. Miss her greatly.
Ah, yes, the lovely Erin O'Grady, Princess of Ireland.
All right, stop right there.
Okay, hold on, I got it. Oh no!
Oh no!
Wait,
all right,
we gotta go back.
Go back just a touch.
Go.
All right, so she is. Oh, you're still playing.
Oh, you did that. I didn't do it.
I do
push
not.
pause?
I don't have controls, man.
They don't know that.
No one would put me in control of anything.
So I can blame everything on you.
Dude, anyone who knows me knows I am not in control of this.
Okay.
So yeah, Erin O'Grady, love her to death. Once again, princess, visiting, dignitary, right under king and queen, not quite to the level of the one that was previous. Princess Mary, the Prince Otto, because she's traveling, so she's just a smidge down.
Right.
But still, Your Highness.
Right. All three of those princes, prince and princesses, are Your Highness.
Yes. If you see her in the lanes, please bow. She deserves that respect.
Don't do what the traveling Chinese merchant does.
Yes. No.
Everyone is lord and lady.
Yes.
Because I'm bound and determined to get the Baron of Umbracinia in trouble.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I can do that.
I'm trying to trade up.
Oh.
I'm trying to trade up.
Please. It's not gonna happen.
Look, dude. If I can marry, if I can marry in character, I don't know, the Princess of Ireland, dude, you're screwed.
Yeah.
I will walk around I will hunt you down in the lanes. I'll be like, down. Oh yeah.
All right, so that's gonna be a wrap on the show, folks. No, I'm only kidding.
So, but that's our royalty. That's
Yes.
the royal court and our visiting royal. And now we move into the nobles and this fine gentleman.
And that fine lady. Oh, my favorite peoples.
Those are
one of my favorite people.
Duke and Duchess of Norfolk.
Yes.
And they're actually based off of historical figures.
Yes. So they are portraying real characters.
Yes. Thomas Howard and Elizabeth Howard. So,
if you have any questions about English history,
actually, costuming also. You can bend the ear of the Duchess of Norfolk.
Yes.
If you're looking for a more authentic women's dress.
Yeah, they are fantastic people. They will talk to you at length about whatever you want to talk about.
Absolutely. And they're wonderful. They're wonderful to chat with. But do me a favor. Make sure that you bring them something to drink.
Yes.
Like water.
Water.
Always. So we'll move on. We're moving forward here. Look, there they are again. I know those people.
Love them.
They're so wonderful.
They're so awesome.
And there is...
Okay, so...
Do you have another picture of this dude?
Yes!
Okay, there he is.
Okay, so...
There it is. That's the look.
So the reason I picked the first picture is because I actually found one where he was smiling.
Oh.
And I didn't think one existed. I love you.
You are so fired.
I'm so fired. But then I saw this one and I went, okay.
That's the face that we're used to.
This is the face that I'm used to every time I go, hey, I've got an idea. This look comes up. So this is what we call judgmental dad face.
Yes, judging dad face.
But this is the Duke of Larkspurshire.
Yes.
So
Theodore
Winglewick.
Yes. You know what's really funny about this picture? He's got that look of. I feel like I know this is from a couple of years ago.
Yes.
But this is the face that I know is going to happen when we're walking around next year.
I can only, dude, this is the face he's going to make when we walk into rehearsals.
Yes, he's going to be like, what are you two doing?
If he doesn't fire us before then.
Well, you know, I mean, if he fires us, then we'll just.
How do we get fired on our day off? I don't get it.
You say dumb things, you do dumb things, you post dumb things.
Okay, well,
that's in other jobs. I don't know about a Renaissance Festival. This is my first year.
Yeah, well, it could be.
I'm gonna blame it on you.
Okay, fantastic. All right, moving on.
Moving on, we have the lovely lady. Well, actually, it would be Your Grace.
Your Grace.
This is the Duchess of Larkspurshire.
Yes.
Isadora Winglewick, who unfortunately has left us.
Yes.
And look, there they are together. It's so beautiful.
It is. Yes, she went to. She's now part of the Carolina Renaissance Festival.
Carolina Renaissance Festival.
So I wish her all the best. She was absolutely fantastic. She did. Not only was she the assistant casting director, she did a lot with the music that was there.
She coordinated
the dances,
all of the gate sings.
Yeah.
She taught the dances.
Yeah, she was awesome.
She's also the one that made me sing. Well, we did Hoist the Colors for Pirate Weekend.
Right.
I requested that one, and then because we ambushed my love, Erin O'Grady, we ambushed her at the Royal Pavilion. You scampered off on me, and at Gate Sing, I was told, and this is how I know that the hierarchy works. The Duchess of Larkspurshire says the four of you that were singing there today will sing at close. And I'm like, yes, Your Grace.
Yes, of course, Your Grace.
And I said, I don't know where Keith is. And she goes, the show goes on, and I said, yes, Your Grace.
Had you not been ambushed at, the 11th hour,
I was ready.
If we had time to plan.
I mean, I was ready for it because it was a beautiful moment, and really, she wanted to share that moment with the entire cast because
absolutely
I say this, and I made 5 people cry with this performance. Actually, we made 5 people cry with this performance, but I can say I made 5 people cry. Keith can only say he made 4 because he was the 5th one.
So what had happened?
Sunlight.
So during the performance, there a gust of wind came up, and I got dust in my eye.
You can be honest because I'm gonna.
It was allergies.
I'm gonna bear it. All right, I'm gonna bear this out because I did not expect anybody to start crying during that performance. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm oblivious. Maybe both.
So I was doing rather well until I looked over and I saw the Lord Mayor. And when the Lord Mayor lost it, I lost it.
Yeah, and
so yes, I was
crying. I looked over for a brief moment, and behind the camera is Isadora Winglewick, who is doing this number to her eyes.
Right.
I've got the Queen who's doing this number to her eyes. And then I see the Lord Mayor doing this to her eyes.
Yes.
And I've got my love, Erin O'Grady, doing this. The entire freaking performance, guys.
She tried so hard to hold it together.
And I'm not trying to call her out for haha, you're soft. I mean, it
was a beautiful moment.
It was a very beautiful moment. It was something special from my heart to hers as a thank you for inviting me to this wonderful chaos.
Yes.
But it was beautiful. This is, again, guys, this is kind of outside of the norm of things because I'm a merchant. She is royalty. I would have been beheaded.
But there's times where we just kind of do our own thing.
Well, that's why we're historically adjacent.
And we're rascals.
Yeah, so. and we're rascals, and what's a day in the stocks?
Right.
I still get paid. And then we go into our next tier, if you would. So we've talked about the Dukes, and now we go into the Marquess.
Yes.
Which this is the Marquess of Exeter. Henry Courtenay and his lovely wife, Elizabeth Grey, the Marchioness.
Yes.
Of Exeter. Always wonderfully dressed. I like their purples.
Dude, that picture doesn't do them justice. Like, honestly.
Explain.
That color in
so
person,
it's a very
pops,
royal purple, guys.
Yeah, it pops so much more in person. You can't miss them when they walk around together. They're very well put together.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And they don't need the bells like you.
No.
Which I still think it's funny. Everybody's like, we got to put bells on Captain Yen Chang. I'm like, nope. They're like, why not? I'm like, because then you can hear me coming and going. That's completely not what I'm looking for. You can hear the Baron coming. That's the only warning you're going to get. You want to know where I'm at? Look for that big dude. I might be hiding behind him.
Right. Oh, speaking of bells, that's who.
Yes, and the bells.
That's who I stole the bells from.
Yes.
That's who I have the bells from.
Yes, this is Henry Howard.
Yes.
The Earl of Surrey.
Lord Surrey.
Lord Surrey. Actually, yes, he is my lord. And
my
so
lord.
we've gone from Your Grace. So the Marquess, the Marchioness are both my lord, my lady.
Yes.
And then we've got the Earl and the Countess.
Yes.
Which are my lord, my lady. Okay?
And they are based off of those historical figures as well.
They actually reference historical figures where, and I'm not sure if this is, if I'm looking at this flowchart right. Henry Howard is the son of Thomas Howard and Elizabeth Howard.
Yes.
Who is married to Frances Howard.
Yes.
Okay. Now, also, the King Henry and Queen Anne are the parents of Princess Mary.
Correct.
Which they've traded their daughter off to another kingdom?
Yes.
There we go. That's what we'll go. That's
it's really not unheard of.
No, it's actually the way that they solidified alliances.
Absolutely. Yeah, you gave children away all the time.
I want to give children away now. And then we have these lovely people. This is the Thomas Manners and Eleanor Manners.
Yes, the Earls.
The first
Earl
of Rutland.
So now Thomas Manners is the son of Henry and Frances Howard.
But that's not. I don't see the little lines connecting this, but that's cool. So he is the son of Henry and Frances Howard.
Yes.
Who he is married to. Thomas Manners is married to Eleanor Manners.
Right.
Who is the Countess of Rutland. I like Umbracinia. It sounds better. Rutland is just like. I think of like this Rutland.
Right. It's like somewhere down south. Where you go? We're going to Rutland.
We're going to Rutland. You know, I mean, Umbracinia, it's kind of hard to like redneck that up.
They got the tractor pull down to Rutland tonight. That's where we're going.
We're stuck getting fired. Sunday, down in Rutland.
No, I love you guys. I would, we're fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
Totally fired.
All right, and then following that, we move into our visiting dignitaries. This is Count Alejandro Murrieta del Lunar. He is our Spanish ambassador.
And no one ever really expects him to be coming.
No, because no one ever expects the Spanish Inquisition.
I know, right? So when he shows up, it's like, oh, there you are.
But he does portray a very haughty Spaniard.
Yes.
And haughty by like attitude. Haughty.
Yes.
Very, very arrogant.
Pompous.
I like that word.
Yes, he is.
Very eloquent
Pompous.
Word. Pompous.
Yeah, he plays the role very, very
very well. Very well. But somebody needs to get him a shirt.
Yes.
And then we move on to. Oh wait! Before I go on, so funny bit that I was doing. I'd stand there after gate show, like opening gate, and I would stand like 4 or 5 paces away from our Spanish ambassador and his wife, the Viscount. Sorry, she's not on here. Where is she?
Nope. Yep, she is.
Where is she?
Down. She's down.
Is she really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there she is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, she was married. I think the marriage has been annulled.
I'm not sure where the marriage stands at this point.
I don't know. All I know is that he is married to the Baroness.
I know. I signed an annulment form. I don't know.
I signed a petition, but I'm a commoner. I mean, I'm a merchant. I don't think that has any weight on anything. But anyway, so I would stand, just a few within earshot, if you will.
Right.
And I was handing out Spanish doubloons. And I would hand it to children, and I would say, "Here, you look like you need a piece of Spain." Well, I was doing this for like the first couple of weekends, and I guess I wasn't being loud enough. So the third weekend, I got a little bit louder. And the Baroness of Graventine looks over and goes, "Excuse me?"
That's her money you're giving her.
And I said, "Yeah, I'm redistributing your wealth. Well, rather your husband's wealth."
Yes.
Which is funny because I was also filling his coffers at the beginning of the day by giving him
Right.
doubloons. It was fun. I told him, I said, what we should do is raise little armies and have the children fight for us. And then I was told, no, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
But yeah, that was a little bit that I had with him. Now, Captain Yen Shang actually does not like the Spanish ambassador simply because he is Spanish.
Spanish, yes.
And going through the Armada to get to England was not fun. Then we've got our my lady, the Viscountess of Oakwood, Violet MacDonald.
Oh, love her.
She's so fun.
She's such the nicest person.
I did not realize, and we talked about this, in a previous lifetime, we worked in the same circles.
Really?
Yes. My time in the military,
yeah.
I worked with her quite, a lot of her office quite a bit.
Yeah.
At the time, she worked for a newspaper.
Oh, okay. Okay, got you.
So we know a lot of the same people. And then we've got this guy.
This guy.
This guy is Lord Franz Müller, the German ambassador. So I found it extremely funny that the German ambassador was nowhere near the German prince.
The German prince. Yes. He walked around with Lord Chamberlain.
Yes.
So they kind of had a partnership,
which is really weird to me. I mean, it kind of like, here, go play with your playmate.
Yeah. So
I just thought it was kind of interesting that.
But yeah, no, he did a fantastic job, even though I couldn't understand a lot of what he was saying.
Well, it's that accent.
It was thick.
It was
very thick.
It was actually really good.
It was good. Yeah.
He actually did a very good German accent. I did appreciate his and we're gonna get some people involved in the accenting in a later episode.
Absolutely.
So moving on here, we're gonna keep going. We're at like 57 minutes. I don't care if we go long, guys. We aim for an hour. If we go longer, we go longer. This is Lady L. Literate. L. Literate.
Yes.
Lady L. Literate. The Baroness of Sudley. Sudley?
Oh, I'm not 100%.
You guys are English. You don't pronounce all the letters, so it's Sudley.
You know.
I'll get corrected later.
Absolutely.
If maybe I have a job. I don't know.
If you're watching this, how do we pronounce it?
Yes, and then this guy. I love this guy. This guy's one of my favorites.
He was definitely one of my buddies.
Yeah.
So he played Giovanni de Medici.
Yep.
So he's Florentine.
Florentini.
Yes, Florentine. Not to be confused with the dirty Venetians.
I thought they're the same.
Well, so Italy wasn't quite a country back then.
What? Yeah, they were.
No, Italy. No.
Oh no, they were little kingdoms.
Yes. So the Florentines were the upper class of the. They had the money.
Right. Well, and this goes back to what I was talking about originally, when we were talking about the difference in classes.
Yeah.
The Medicis were responsible for changing the landscape of the way that the nobility influenced the common population.
Yeah,
so
they were big bankers.
They were.
So they had tons of money.
Yes, and I believe, and I may be crossing my histories here, but I believe the Medicis actually made their way into the clergy as well.
Quite possibly.
I'm pretty sure. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, if I'm right, down below. If I'm wrong, down below, man.
Yeah.
But this guy, he is such a joy to walk around with. He's always got that goofy smile on his face.
That is
I don't care if he's having a bad day. That's what he looks like. See? And
every picture.
How could you not love this dude?
Right.
And again, look, this goes back to what we were talking about before. My man doesn't have a sword.
Yeah, no, he's got a little dagger.
A little dagger.
Um,
But again, we were talking about this.
y-
You don't need it.
he doesn't need it. Yeah.
Especially if you're traveling with the court, then you've got guards. Hey, it's my friend.
Hey, I know her.
Yeah, this is Anna von Kalkstein.
Who was
The Baroness
unfortunately married to
He did not deserve
the No. She's way out of his league.
Yes,
I don't know how that
absolutely.
happened.
Apparently, she has more money than him.
Yeah. Well,
That's why Captain Yen Sheng was giving him.
and
that.
if they get the marriage annulled, then he's going to be poor again.
The future Baroness of Umbrasinia.
One can hope.
You could dream, right?
I can dream.
You can dream.
I have a dream. A boy has a dream.
A boy has a dream, and a dog.
And a dog. I'd love to have a dog.
Oh, it'd be awesome if you had a dog.
Right.
Oh,
Oh!
I know that guy.
Who is that guy?
I know that guy.
Oh my goodness. Yes, so that is Lord Robert Adelborn III.
The
Baron.
Baron of
Baron of
Umbrasinia.
Umbrasinia. So yes, so I round out the
He's at the bottom.
nobility.
He's at the bottom.
For a reason. I'll go into that later. It'll make sense.
It's part of your character as to why you wrote him that way.
Yes.
But it's from a writer's perspective, I can look at this and appreciate that you are the person who the Duke or the King would say, I need this done. And you're going to have to go down into the commoners.
Oh, absolutely.
And that gives you the license or the ability to free flow between the two. Mm-hmm. That's, from a writer standpoint, that makes sense to me. Okay, moving on in the video. We're going to keep going.
And,
look at that guy.
Look at that guy.
Oh, that leather. You hated that leather.
I hated that leather. Oh,
But the good news is you don't have to wear it.
No! I may break it out one day.
Okay, and then we got the knights.
We have the knights.
Good night. Sleep tight, Wesley. Almost like we kill you.
So, that is Sir Balin.
Sir Balin.
Sir Brian.
Sir Brian.
Two of my favoriteest people.
Yes. And I see this as, again, I love their heraldry.
Oh, dude,
their costumes are so gorgeous.
They are so well put together. So when I go to lunch, I eat lunch with these guys.
Yes.
And I watch them armor up for their afternoon.
Dude, it's a process.
Run. I am just it takes two people to get all their one will help the other one, and then they'll put it on, and then it's just it's amazing to watch, and they've got it down to a science. They really do. But
Sir Brian and I were talking about this because he's also a fellow veteran.
Yes, he is.
And other veterans that are on the cast is our Duke of Norfolk, Thomas Howard.
Yes.
And the Marquess of Exeter, Henry Courtenay. Those guys are veterans as well. I'm not trying to detract from them at all, but Sir Brian and I spoke ad nauseum about
Lady
it.
Elizabeth.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yep,
that's right.
But as we go down, I'll try to remember.
Yeah. I don't know why it's like. But no, So I was watching Sir Brian put on his don his armor.
Yes.
Sir Balin was helping him, and I just kind of I laughed, I chuckled a little bit, and he goes, "It's a lot different than what you're used to, isn't it?" And I said, "Oh yeah, yeah. I just throw my vest on, I'm ready out. I grab up the rifle, we're out the door."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah, we don't have rifles." And I'm like, "Well, technically you did."
Yeah, well,
historically, they existed.
Yeah.
But a knight would not have been caught carrying. No.
That's way
unless you were French, where you had the entire musketeers.
Yeah, but no one likes the French.
Bloody French.
Bloody French.
And then,
all right.
So, we don't have a picture of Saint Ingrid.
Oh, yeah, she'll be on there.
Okay.
Oh, do you think in my right mind that I would not have a picture?
I don't know. You don't have a right mind.
She who lets me live.
All right. So let's go back here because
yes,
if you are a history buff,
yes,
and you want to know anything about the time period that we are in, this is your man. This is your man.
He is the man.
He is the man when it comes to it. What happened here? Did it freeze? There we go.
There you go.
All right.
Yes, Professor Loquacious.
Sir Loquacious.
Absimery.
Absimery, the royal historian.
One of the absolute nicest,
Most
caring, loving, warm, friendly. I don't have enough words to describe this guy.
I do.
He was one of the very first people that when I
He's
first
an
got on
honorary
cast.
rascal.
Oh, absolutely. One of the very first people that welcomed me.
Right.
Gave me lessons on
you told me about this.
Deference
and why you would not run around saying you're a pirate.
Yes. I thought I was right. And this is, I didn't know him at this point.
Right.
And so I didn't realize that when he says something, it's kind of pointless to argue with him because he's right. And so
but he's factually right.
He's factually right. And I tried to argue, and then I quickly realized
I'm out of my element.
I am there's levels to this game.
So you and
he is out of my league.
We had different experiences.
Yes.
When I first met Sir Loquacious, I was greeted with you're going to have to give me some history lessons.
Yes.
Because I don't know anything about the East during this time frame. And I said, well, my history is very limited. My knowledge of it is very limited because I only did research for the character.
Right.
And we started going, and he was like, "Oh, dude, you know a lot." Like, and I was like, "Okay,
yeah,
I'll trust you on that." And he goes, "No. Like you covered probably a good 80 years before your character came to life, and then continued to do more."
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "It's very interesting because I also had to do research on the journey from China around Africa,
yes,
and all the way up." So, and I started writing stories. I kind of slacked off because I was just beat by the end of the week, and I was like,
"Oh yeah,
I don't have time for this. I don't have the energy." I might pick that up later on. Who knows?
Absolutely.
Moving on. The next person here is.
So
I know that guy.
Yes, Robert Downhill. So he's
Sir Robert Downhill.
Sir Robert. Yes, he's the captain of the Royal Guard.
Yes. Love the bits that they were doing with the Royal Guard. A couple of moments they did some Keystone Cops type of things.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of neat. Moving on, and it's so hard for me because it's like I have stories about these people like in person, but like I don't want to share like private information and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
This is Sir Kenward, the lieutenant to the Royal Guard. And then we move on from there to Sir Rowan Klugner, Harbinger of the Royal Guard. This is Vani, the Royal Drummer and Herald. Oh, I know that person.
Yes, love Hildegard.
Yeah, Hildegard, the Royal Trumpeter.
Yes.
And then we've got...
So, didn't have I don't think he was there. He made the list, but I don't think he was actually at the fair.
And then we have our fairy folk. Now, this is where... this is kind of a blind spot, like a 50-50 blind spot for Yen Shang. Because a lot of characters on cast, when it comes to the fae, to the fairy, some people don't see them as characters. You know, like the character does not see the fairies.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, as cast members, we're like, "Yo, dude, what's up?"
Yeah.
But, so, Yen Shang has an issue with, like, perceiving the fae.
Yes.
Unless he's with certain people. Which typically is children. So when children are around, he can see the fae.
Yeah.
When children are not around, he can't see them.
It's a child's belief.
Yes, and that's kind of the way that I try to portray that.
It makes perfect sense.
You know, he's a man of action. Yen Shang is a man of action. He's been around the world. There are spirits in the world. He knows that.
Oh, of course.
That's intrinsically tied to a lot of the Chinese belief system, Confucianism, Taoism. So it's kind of funny because he doesn't see them because I don't believe it.
Right.
We believe in sea serpents because, well, those things have wrecked ships.
Yeah.
Let's go down the list here because now we're down to the next.
Oh, That's my buddy.
This is our fairy. That's Super Dippin' Dots.
Super
right?
Dippin' Dots, otherwise known as serendipity.
She is the luck fairy.
Yeah, she has been. I may be wrong. But I believe she is the longest tenured cast member.
Really?
I believe so. I think her and the professor. I know one of them is like the longest, but I think they're right up there. But yeah, she's been around the fair forever.
Wow.
And she is absolutely fantastic.
And then we move. I like the little. Oh look! I know that person too.
Parsnip.
That's Parsnip, the pirate fairy. Ooh. Periwinkle. That is our
fantastic
unicorn.
character.
Yes, the kids always love.
Most popular with the children.
Yes. Although I have thought about bringing a saddle.
Yeah.
And chasing the unicorn with the saddle.
I know. Yeah. Maybe.
It'd be weird.
That could be awkward.
Yeah.
That could be awkward.
And then this is one of my favorite people. This is Onyx Rain,
Yes.
the elven musician, who actually you owe a duel for.
I do.
You owe a duel for the tiny violinist.
I do.
So, she's let me know that she's ready anytime you are, sir. My money's on her.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens next year.
And then we've got. This is Link.
Link.
Yes, the ocarina musician.
Yes, and I just saw on Facebook last night, actually, that he has an album of ocarina music that he just released.
Get out.
Nah, I can't. He did it.
Gonna have to go ahead and drop a link for that one.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Drop a link for Link. Yeah, so it's all ocarina music based on Zelda. So yeah, definitely want to give a shout out for that one.
I want him to do Freebird.
I don't know if he'll do that. I mean, he might.
Maybe bodies. Like drowning pool bodies on the ocarina.
Okay, Link, if you're watching this, we need bodies, drowning pool bodies. Or I would even go down with the sickness if he can figure that one out. That would be good. He's never speaking to us again. Which
honestly, outside of character, one of the cool things about Link is that they are ASL friendly.
Yes.
So they if you are ever you have anyone that you are traveling with that is that can only communicate using American Sign Language, this is one of the people that you can go to. There's another one who's actually a bartender, but I think next year he's going to be joining us on cast.
I think so.
We'll see about that. And then it fades. And local dignitaries. Is this where I'm at? I'm in here, aren't I? No. What? Why not?
Did you see?
We're going to have words.
Did you
here.
see the cast list? Oh, the Lord Mayor. Hello, Lord Mayor.
Oh, and this is one of my favorite people.
The Lord Sheriff.
The Lord Sheriff. I love the Lord Sheriff.
Yes.
First off, hilarious.
Yes.
Second,
hilarious.
No, he's a man after my own heart. He likes to eat.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I love eating. I'm always eating. It's very rare that you'll find me without food.
So the captain of the gate. So this is the gentleman that controls who enters the keeper of the gate. The keeper of the gate. Oh,
yes. He's Captain Charles Vane.
And also he's the one that made this fantastic. I don't know if we can see it.
There it is. Oh no! You blocked yourself out.
There we go.
You've gone into the
anyway.
nether.
Oh, he made this fantastic. Oh, there it is. He made this fantastic mug. Only took me a year to get, but it's fine because I've got it now.
A year.
I think he forgot about me, but it's okay. I love him anyway.
Well, you were a pirate when you ordered it.
This is true.
I would forget you too as a pirate. And then, so
all the rest of the gate.
This is actually Captain Charles Vane, who actually is a historical figure. You guys can look him up later.
Yes.
Dude, if I had so many links to everything. Now we go into our artist. This is Leonardo da Vinci.
Yes.
Genius.
Genius.
That's what they wrote down here.
I know. I saw that. I was like, really?
The only thing I can think of when I hear that is like Wile E. Coyote.
Right.
Super genius.
And he's fantastic as well.
Yes.
I love that guy.
And then we've got.
Oh,
I love this dude. He's got an amazing bass voice, by the way.
Finnegan. Yes, Finnegan the Farseer.
Who has a really cool story.
He is on my top people. I love that guy. Like, for real.
Right. No, absolutely. As a person, I love him.
Yeah.
I've actually been commissioned to help make a scroll bag for him.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I as cast members, he's like,
yes.
I can't pay you too
Not to
much.
be confused with his twin brother, Finnegandrel.
Yes.
Who's not good at all.
Yeah,
but
that whole story, that whole backstory,
yeah.
I told him, I said, I will make your scroll bag for you, sir.
Yeah.
But you owe me the first scroll that goes in this bag is your family tree.
Family tree, yes.
Because it's hilarious. It goes horizontal.
Yes.
Not vertical.
Not vertical. Because isn't there nine of them?
No.
Was
There's like 50 of them.
Was it? Yeah, I know it was some crazy number.
Absurd number.
Yeah, if you guys see him out in the lane, stop and talk to him for a minute.
Fun fact: he also does riddles.
He's a riddle. He's riddle guy.
Yeah.
And he does have some really good riddles.
Yes, he does. You want to stump somebody? Take him to Finnegan.
Oh.
Lady UPS.
Lady UPS.
This is Lorelei Penumbra, the mistress of UPS.
Yes, a fantastic character. She did so much running around this year that I don't think she realized what she got herself into.
Her calves are like,
boom, just solid.
And then let's see here. We got, who else is in here? I'm in here, right? I'm in
yes,
here.
Yes.
Okay. I think I should have been, before. It's
Jack Bean. Hello, Bean.
Hello, Bean. This is our apothecary.
Well, another one of my favorite people on earth.
Oh wait, now we're into my subject, so I can go down in here. There we go. This is our apothecary. Look,
the
apothecary. It says it right there.
I know. Look at us being all prepared and stuff.
These are just examples on the left-hand side of different merchants.
Lady Sybil.
Lady Sybil, the innkeeper.
The innkeeper.
And then you've got Matthias of Manchester. He's the alchemist.
So he does so much. Like, he does the
so
drumming,
much.
He does trumpeting, he does the alchemy, he does the show with him and Jack Bean,
and then he's got another show where he's by himself.
Yes, and super
busy
talented
guy.
dude.
Busy guy.
When we're on cast, like, we'll be walking by, he'll pull us into the show.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's like, hey, you, come on, stand here. I'm like, okay.
But I don't want to play. But yes, and.
That's my guy.
This dude right here. This is Finian Flam, the peddler and tinker.
Yes. So this was
probably one of my favorite entertainers.
His first year on the cast, and this guy literally blew me away.
No, he's amazing.
Like, just
he's amazing,
and just a genuine nice human being.
Oh, he's amazing. He's a horribly wonderful person. Yeah, I like that. Horribly wonderful.
Horribly wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, he is horribly wonderful. I hate him.
Yes. Malapert of Pasquinade, Italian artist.
Fantastic. So hopefully, I'm not sure if he's coming back next year. I hope he,
if he
does.
Hope he does. He does some characters, and he's really quick.
Oh my God! Get a portrait, a character made. It's fantastic. He doesn't charge. It's free. Please tip him. The guy is uber talented. So
he's amazing. And then, yes. No, you missed somebody here. We jumped. This is Winifred Wilton, the village gardener.
Yes.
And in the very back, sitting there being creepy, that's Giovanni Sazzano.
Yes.
Hey, look, I know that guy too.
Yes.
You see him?
Fantastic.
You see that dude?
He's radiant.
He's hiding behind Adam Bell, but you can see the hat.
The three of us and.
That's just you. That's the two of you. That's the two of you. It's Adam Bell. It's.
We're glowing.
Yes. That's a very good picture of her.
Yes.
And then this is.
So she was a poet. So
Yes.
she was the village poet.
Yes.
She would
Christian, the poet.
She would give you poems, limericks. She did some riddles. She was fantastic. It was a cool character.
Yes.
I'd like to see her flesh it out more.
Ah,
The Spuds.
The Spuds.
I love the Spuds.
Petula, the mother, and Patrick, the younger. You missed one. Did we miss the seamstress? You didn't have a picture.
Didn't have a picture. Yeah.
Oh, you took these pictures during dress rehearsals.
Yes.
Okay.
Some of them.
Okay.
Other ones I poached from other people.
Yes. Okay.
So all credits to
and
whoever.
This guy here is Arlen McNaughton, the giggling fiddler. There is a video out there of him playing with the tiny violinist.
Yes.
Quick story behind that. This man has played for my daughter when she was 1 year old, and here we are 9 years later, and she played with him last season during the Renaissance Festival. So he inspired her love of the violin, and she is just going, dude.
He is another one of these guys that is so super talented it makes me
and
ill.
so stinking nice.
Yeah, oh God, I don't know what makes me ill worse, his talent or his niceness.
His giggle.
That's true. He does have a great giggle. That's true.
He does. Yes. Yes.
The singing milkmaid.
The singing milkmaid.
Yes.
Who also dances.
She does dance.
She's Alice Butterfield, the singing milkmaid, but she does she graced us
Irish dance.
Irish Highland or
Yeah.
Highland dance.
Or Highland dance.
Yes.
Warlock
John, the guitarist.
Guitarist, another uber talented. He does guitar.
That guy
kind
knows
of percussion.
He knows so many instruments. It's not even funny.
It's ridiculous.
And he's a nice guy too.
Once again.
I know this guy, rapscallion that he is.
Yes, well, he's a pirate.
Captain Adrian Maxwell. He's actually he's a pirate, but he is from the north.
North Pirates.
And I'm actually doing a scabbard for his sword.
One of my other favoriteest people on earth.
Favorite singer, Kelpie Haddock.
Love her.
Singing fishmonger. I actually performed with her quite a bit.
Yes.
It started off as just like a one-time thing, and then she was like, "No, dude, come back here." And I'm like,
it turns into
okay, and so it actually carried over to Santa Fe.
Yes.
And you and I sang with her. We did Mingale.
Yes, and then
Mingale
she
Day.
also joined us at the end of the day at the gate thing.
Yeah, and she sang with me and the Santa Fe Neverland Pirates. We did Hoist the Colors.
Yes.
So very talented person. I absolutely love her. This one is you can find her by following the chimes.
She is everywhere.
She is everywhere.
And she's always playing something different.
Yes.
Like another super talented person.
Great.
Yeah.
She does art. She's actually in Texas Renaissance Festival right now.
Yes.
But she's selling masks. So her character up here in Colorado was Rosemary, the singer and Wander.
And she did wander.
She did wander. But she was never lost.
My buddy.
Sebastian Bain.
Yes, singing pirate.
Pirates guitarist.
Yes.
Who
super talented.
Who owes me a song.
He does.
Brave Sir Robin.
Brave Sir Robin.
But he's supposed to redo the words for Brave Sir Robert.
Well, he did pawn us off on Link, who did Brave Sir Robin.
Yeah, but that's not... No. That doesn't work.
No, he still owes us, for sure.
Yes.
So you owe us.
We were placated.
We were.
Momentarily.
And amused.
He could have bought himself out.
And amused, because we went over to Link and we're like, hey, do you know? And he just started into it. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. No, he could have bribed us. We do take Scotch eggs and bribe.
Yes.
And so there we go. This is, where did she go?
Right there. Leo the Dragon Tamer.
Doggone it. Leo the Dragon Tamer. There we go.
Yes.
And then one of the most famous personalities of Colorado Renaissance Festival.
I don't know. I don't want to misspeak.
Oh, no.
I think...
Oh, no.
I would almost say she's the most recognizable character.
Oh, yeah.
I mean... I don't think I'm wrong about that. I think everyone knows who Lucinda Jinx is.
I don't think that you're wrong. I think that more people recognize her
sure
than our own king and queen.
I think it's probably right. But
I propose a day where Lucinda is in charge of the kingdom.
I propose that as well. It'll never happen because that would just be
Chaos. Gingerbread
we
houses all over the village.
Yes, love Lucinda to death. She is absolutely a fantastic human being.
And actually, there was an article about her just not long ago, and how she came up with the character, where she goes, and how she's she's a very active person in the festival scene.
Yes, yeah, so. she's all over the place. Literally.
Ah, yes. This is this is our village rat catcher,
yes.
Agatha Crump. It's such a dark name,
Agatha Crump. Yes, fantastic. She's so cool to work with.
And then one of my favorite people. This
yes.
is actually a rag collector. This is Cassandra Tatterwich.
Yeah.
So
another person she's another one of the new cast members. Did a fantastic job.
Now we were talking about earlier, like knowing the hierarchy of things.
Yes.
Believe it or not, Cassandra would be considered an unskilled worker.
Yes.
Because she has no trade.
Mm-hmm.
She has no trade. She's not a merchant. She doesn't buy anything. She doesn't have anything really that the nobility wants. She just goes around collecting rags. So she sells her rags to the tailor and the seamstress. Let's move on. We got a little bit more to go on to here. Giovanni Salzano, the mercenary, the traveling mercenary.
The traveling mercenary. I believe I'm the one that took that picture.
Hey, look, it's me.
Look!
It's me.
Yes!
It's me in all my glory. You need to move me up next year.
You need to speak to someone in charge of making this list.
Yes.
That would be Lord Surrey.
Yes, because I should be a merchant, not pirate.
Yes.
Because I would never willingly admit that I'm a pirate.
Well, no.
Does that look piratey to you? Shut up.
I know you. Yes, it does. It looks very piratey. You look like you were up to no good.
There's a couple of people that are missing here.
Look.
Oh. Wow, dude, you
yes, that is my favorite person.
You went like full on, like you went all the way on.
That is Saint Ingrid.
I'm gonna make sure that I'm fed.
Yeah, absolutely. This woman keeps me alive.
She is a very caring person.
She keeps a lot of people alive, actually.
Ooh, who's honorable mentions?
So these are just characters.
Oh,
Don Quixote.
Don Quixote.
Fantastic human. I love him to death.
The headsman.
You can't,
He's a wonderful person.
He's everywhere. So this is that is John Hockley. He was the one that actually got me into Colorado Renaissance Festival.
Oh, nice.
Yes, he was the one that said, "Dude, you got to audition."
Nice.
And I'm like, okay.
He looks like a friendly guy.
He was fantastic.
He looks like the type of guy that's inviting you because you look like you have no friends.
Yes, that's why he went, "Hey, walk with me." Okay, it kept me alive. So this is Oliver Winglewick.
Oh, okay.
So he played the Duke's son, the Duke of Lancaster. So Oliver Winglewick. Hopefully, I heard a rumor that he is actually going to be back next year. So
nice.
I'm hoping. Well, I shouldn't say it's a rumor. He told me he was coming back. So he better not be lying. I swear, I will find you.
Fong you.
I will fong you. No, actually, I'll probably just give him a big hug because I love that dude.
Yeah, you leave the violence up to me. And here's our buddy. This is the the master of ceremonies, really.
Yes, he does so much behind the scenes. It would probably blow your mind with as much as he does.
Everywhere.
Yeah,
that dude is everywhere, and I absolutely love his personality. Oh!
Can you not have?
No, this is beautiful.
Right?
This is beautiful.
Tell me, these are two of my favorite people in the all-time history of forever.
These are they're so in Santa Fe they're actually on court.
Yes.
And they also they're patrons up here.
Yes.
Which they are very wonderful people. They gifted me a little tiny blue and green dragon.
Yes. That is their thing.
Consequently, I didn't realize this, but I sold them their very first camper.
And they will actually be our guest on the episode of How to Be a Patron.
Yes, because...
so, if you look at them, they obviously...
She's got a story. I don't know if you know about this, but they went to, I believe it was Cavern City.
Yes.
And
both veterans as well.
Yes, both veterans, but they went to Cavern City Renaissance Festival and ended up being on court. I'll let them tell that whole story.
Absolutely, as well they should.
They ended up being on court. It was rather entertaining to listen to them. That's my buddy. I like that guy. That guy's awesome. Is he on here?
No. I wasn't. I didn't. He was kind of after they had done all this.
He's a magician.
That's why I had to put him in the honorable mention category.
He's a magician. He was actually performing, as you can see, by the fountain.
The great Ardini.
The great Ardini.
Yes.
Really great guy to walk by. I would always go in there. Ooh, look at these guys. Looking all dapper. Look at that.
Yes.
So, for those of you that can't see the photos, this photo that we're looking at here, in the center of the formation is Lord Robert. On his left is me, Captain Yen Zhang. On his right is Giovanni Salzano. So, I promised you guys I was going to tell you about where do you stand if you are equal in rank. Historically speaking, the better swordsman stands to the right.
Yes.
So as not to impede his draw. In this case, the reason why I'm standing on the left of Lord Robert is because I can move faster than Salzano.
Yes, of this I have no doubt. So
and that's the end of that video. That was. We do want you guys, like it says it right there. Join us for a magical return to the Renaissance, and we don't care if it's our festival or your festival.
No, yeah. So the whole point of not only this video but this episode is to kind of illustrate where you fit in.
Right. When you're developing your character,
but also kind of going back to last episode of costuming.
Yes.
And you'll see how intricate
yes.
the royal costumes, the royal garb is, and how it goes down. It becomes a little more plain,
Dude, that's why I'm saying I should be higher in that list. I don't look plain, dude. I don't.
I'll talk to the Lord Surrey.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
Lord
Surrey, please, can you move him up on the list?
Fixed.
My Lord.
Lord Robert, get this fixed.
I will do my best. Yes, of course I will.
Yes.
But yeah, so we just wanted to kind of give you a visual idea of what the hierarchy is. Not only in Larkspur Shire, that goes
wherever.
With any festival you go to.
Yes.
They are going to have this exact same hierarchy. Now,
right.
as long as they're in the same period, there are festivals out there that are in a different time frame.
Like you had mentioned Sherwood Forest.
Sherwood Forest.
They're medieval. Now
yes.
the differences between medieval and Renaissance is very minor.
Yes, but it's the time period before.
Correct.
Before where we're at. So
correct.
We're talking,
now, after the Renaissance, again, remember, this is where the merchant class really starts to kind of take over.
Yes.
Into now something that we did not discuss, and it has to be mentioned when we talk about hierarchy, is that, and I kind of just blasted past it. Along here, you're going to have, so you have your royals,
yes,
and all your nobility. On the other side of that equation, remember I said the church was everything. Religion was a key part.
Yes.
Of daily life. So you also had the clergy that ran up and down on those ranks. A pope, a cardinal. It gets further muddled because within the clergy there is upper clergy, lower clergy, and etc.
Oh yeah. It's diluted a lot.
Right. Most of the time when people, as I said, when people portray someone of clergy background, it is going to be a Templar.
Yes.
That's just the way it's going to be. And then don't forget Dave from accounting.
And Dave from accounting.
But that is what, like Keith was saying, it's very important for you to understand where your character falls in line within the village or within the town that you're working. Because who do you defer to?
Yes. So it's basically everyone above you. So once you know where you fit in, then you know, and this is, you know, once again in the episode of how to be a patron, the hierarchy is very important because us as cast, and me specifically, if you want to have a good interaction with the cast members, you have to come correct.
Right.
You know, if you walk up to me and you go, "Sup, bro," I'm probably not going to talk to you. You know.
Or I'm going to assume that you're just looking for directions.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably pass you by, you know, or there's going to be, you know, I'm going to have I will have a comment for you, and probably it's not going to be a nice one, you know.
Although
it's going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't speak the language, or
you know, when somebody says "sup, bro," you could no, thank you, I've already eaten today.
Yeah, so but you know, if you walk up and you know, and if you don't even remember my name, oh my lord, and you know, you bow. Oh shoot, okay, this person.
They want to play.
They want to be, you know, have a good interaction.
Right.
They want to. They're putting in some homework.
So, and this is something that I have found very interesting about Renaissance festivals versus like theme parks. So theme parks, you go to any big theme park, you see a character. I don't care what the character is.
Right.
It could be a mouse. It could be, you know, a bunny. It doesn't matter. You're only going to get a hug.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're going to get a hug, a high five, maybe a quick picture with them, right? When you go to a festival, because we're smaller, because we are trained to entertain.
Oh, yeah.
With that personal experience, you're going to walk away with some kind of interaction, and it's a unique interaction because I'm going to tell you what, I don't remember half the crap that I say 5 minutes later.
No. I don't like candle lines, you know, so we don't just say the same thing to everyone.
I mean, there's a couple of things that I have that are canned.
Everybody does.
It's a canned response, you know, nice costume. Well, in China, we only call them clothes.
Right.
You know.
But the people who really want to interact with us and have a you know, conversation.
Oh, yes.
You know, we're going to tailor to that individual person.
Absolutely.
So,
Give me something to work with.
Oh yeah, I want people to go home and go, dude, that guy was cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know, those two guys. Oh my god.
Yeah. I want somebody to come up to me and say, "We found the Scotch egg. We found a shipment of Scotch eggs.
Yes.
What will you trade?"
Oh,
I have a mercenary.
Anyone below me, I will trade.
Hey,
not you.
Okay.
I'm stuck with you.
Okay.
You're keeping me alive.
Yeah, yes. I'll trade you a rat catcher.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I kind of like the rat catcher.
The rat catcher's nice.
I like everyone.
Yes. That's your. That is your big fault, Lord Robert.
I know.
Like
I do.
I like nor trust no one.
I know. That's what makes our team fantastic.
It's kind of interesting though when we start talking about, like, as we continue our conversation about like how do you fit in, because oftentimes when you're interviewing or auditioning, you have no idea where you're gonna go in, and it's like you can't walk in there and go, "I'm the king." No. Especially with the king sitting out front.
In a later show, we'll actually go over interpersonal relationships.
Conflict.
Conflict. Yeah.
How conflict actually builds
your character. Yep.
You know, like I said, Yen Sheng has a hate for the Spanish ambassador because he lays the Spanish, their ongoings in the East at his feet. Mm-hmm. He blames it solely on the Spanish ambassador. I blame it on the Spanish king, but he's nowhere to be found.
Right.
So I can kill the Spanish ambassador. I don't know where the king is, so he's safe for now.
For now.
Although, if I kill the Spanish ambassador, I might get executed.
You'll be fine.
I'll blame it on Salson.
There you go.
Okay.
I like it.
But that, I mean, dude, could you believe that we've already been talking for like 90 minutes?
Yes. Now, I mean, it's a lot of information.
It is. But as the episodes go on, we aim for an hour, but sometimes the information dictates that we stay longer and talk with you a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Because you can't unpack all of this and not talk about why.
Right.
So we do love having you guys all come and hang out with us.
And also, we have short attention spans.
Oh, yes.
And
so yes. Speaking of short attention spans, did you know that somewhere around the 1400s, late 14th century, early 15th century, a merchant from the Highlands of Scotland put together this beautiful dish.
What is it called?
It's called, he called it a Scotch egg.
I love it already.
They took a hard-boiled egg,
okay.
which they did have during that time.
Absolutely,
yes. They made eggs.
Of course
they did. So they took a hard, it might have been pickled at the time, but now it's
hard-boiled.
And then he took the remnants of a pig and ground it up into this sausage, and then wrapped the egg with the sausage.
Oh, I like it.
He by happy coincidence, he happened to drop it into a bag of meal.
Oh.
Like breading.
Oh, yes.
And as he was picking it up, he tripped, and it
as one often does.
It fell into a vat of hot boiling grease.
Oh.
Now, he at least had the wherewithal that he took a strainer and lifted it out.
Well, of course he did.
But when he was done, he figured that he had made the perfect breakfast that was easy to carry.
Yes.
And henceforth shall be known as the Scotch egg.
Okay, and that was the 14th century.
14th, 15th, somewhere in there. But he was a merchant class because, you know...
Of course he was.
The royals wouldn't make something so base. And you know, the commoners, you know, the peasantry, they don't have access to these things. So,
it's true.
You know, he was looking really towards his peers.
Yes.
The tradesmen.
I love it. Scotch egg.
Yeah, no, I have it on good authority from a Swedish princess and a German prince.
German prince?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Pandora. Check. But we do thank you guys for joining us.
Absolutely.
This episode has been brought to you by the Queen's Pantry, the makers of the...
decadent Scotch eggs.
We do hope that you guys tune in next week. What are we talking about next week? I don't know.
Next week is going to be how to be a patron.
Yes. So we're going to talk with some friends of ours that are always fancily dressed, and they're going to tell us some stories.
Everywhere.
We're going to have a little bit of fun with that.
Absolutely, we will.
We always have fun. Just remember that we are the Renaissance Rascals. I am Rob.
I'm Keith.
And we are eloquently stupid.
Generally, yes. Always.
Generally?
Yeah.
Typically.
Unequivocally.
That's a word.
That is a word.
That is a word. I absolutely like that word.
Yes.
Unequivocally.
And we are